what never made sense to me is when Jesus was fasting 40 days and 40 nights, and then the devil came up to him and said to him, if you break your fast, I'll give you the world's pleasures, the cities, everything will be yours. Why is the devil tempting God with everything he already has? Think about it. It doesn't make sense, does it? Why are you tempting me with what I already own? I already have I created it. I'm God, right? So when I say God is also the devil, as in the devil being a representation of his lower state of consciousness, his animalistic mind, his ego, or what the religious people call the flesh, I'm called blasphemous. Understand that the devil isn't an entity outside of God. It is also God. It's the yin and yang. It's the law of polarity that creates an experience. It's the dark and the light. It's the good and the bad. It's states of consciousness, the high and the low. Jesus, of course, in the state having his ego, his animalistic mind, tempting him, his high state of consciousness, to do something. It's the same way you, when you're trying to become whoever you want to become, having your ego, having your flesh trying to tempt you. That's what it is. And when people blame this guy with horns and a fork for their own experiences, it's again extrapolating their power to some sort of entity outside there. It doesn't make sense. You guys remember when you're growing up, when they'll say stuff like you have the devil on your shoulder just as much as you have the angel on your shoulder. You need both. The ego versus the soul. Heart versus the mind. The same thing. It's not separate from one another. You need both to create experience. The whole point of, spirituality, religion as well, is to get angel to transcend the devil, soul to transcend the flesh, the ego, the devil. That's what it is. You need two in one, but you need to transcend, because you don't want to be operating from your lower states of consciousness. You don't want to be operating from the animalistic point of view. You want to be transcending, right, to what people call the Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness isn't, Jesus's name. It's a title. It's the status to get to that point of consciousness. Anyone can, even Jesus said it. You can do things better than me. That's what it is. Religious books is just a guide on how you can be the better version, the best version of yourself. It's about you. It's got nothing to do with anything outside of you, in my opinion, of course. It's a guide. What would Jesus do? Jesus being just energy that you can tap in. In that story, Jesus, of course, transcended the ego using his highest state of consciousness. That is what you should be doing as well. It's a story about you and how you can achieve what you want. Jesus achieved what he wanted through that whole story, becoming Christ. He is becoming that title again. So you do the same thing, asking yourself, what would Jesus do? Jesus being the energy you can tap into right now, and that Jesus energy overcoming and transcending the devil energy you also have.